So there's Trump coin and Melania coin, and then there's Pirate Chain. We're going to be comparing Pirate Chain and Trump coin. That's what I'm going to be talking about in this video.
Take the first step towards online privacy. Get NordVPN.
The Keystone wallet is the wallet that you want to be using to keep your crypto safe. Whether you are a Bitcoin maxi or an altcoin lover, it is perfect for you. Easy to use, 3 secure elements, and integrates easily with MetaMask, Kepler, and dozens of other extension wallets. Get one now to keep your crypto safe and secure. Go to bit.ly/CryptoRichKeystone. Hi, everybody, it's Crypto Rich, working with you to get rich with crypto. I am joined by Daniel, who is one of the team at Pirate Chain. I am also one of the team at Pirate Chain, the most supreme privacy crypto going. Now, before I introduce him, please subscribe, follow me on Twitter, CryptoRichYT, join my official Telegram announcements channel, and all that business. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please cut it out and come and support my work on X and ODYSEE and on Rumble. Hey, Daniel, thank you so much for making yourself available.
Of course, love coming on.
Yes,
Anytime for you, Rich.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate it, because we are volunteer crew members of the good ship Pirate Chain. So do you want to say a little bit about Pirate Chain, what it is, how it got set up, and the structure behind it, but not too much, right? And then we'll go into comparing it with Trump coin.
Okay. Yeah, Pirate Chain is a fully shielded privacy coin. It's like Bitcoin, except with Bitcoin, you can see everybody's transactions and addresses and account balances. You can see that all on a publicly available ledger that's online all the time. So Pirate Chain works the exact same way. It's a peer-to-peer digital cash that is cheap, quick, and without a centralized intermediary to transfer your funds for you. So it works exactly like Bitcoin in that way, but it does it with absolute privacy, where nobody can see your balances, nobody can see your transactions or any other wallets you've been interacting with. We do this using a technology called zero-knowledge proofs. Specifically, ZK snarks is what we use, and we find it to be the most private way to transact. Instead of mixing up your transactions with other fake transactions like most privacy chains do, Pirate Chain, using ZK snarks, releases no information on the blockchain, so there's nothing to mix up. There's nothing revealed for anybody to go and look at. We find this a far superior way to get privacy on a decentralized blockchain like Pirate Chain. And so,
and just a little bit about the team, right? So it's a proof of work coin. It was launched in August 2018, and just a fair launch, no ICO, no fundraise. There's no development fund or anything. And then it's administered and run by volunteers like you and I. We don't get any money for this. This video is not sponsored or anything like that. We just do it for the love of privacy and the difference that privacy makes.
Yep, go ahead.
I was going to, if people want to find out more, the website is piratechain.com.
Yep, go check us out there. We got all the resources you need there, all the exchanges, wallets, and all of our communities for Telegram, Discord, everything like that. You can find the links there. Right. So make sure to check it out.
Okay, so we're recording this on January the 20th, 2025.
Yeah.
Donald Trump has been inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States, and on Friday evening he launched his official meme coin, Trump coin, and I think it first listed at 18.24 cents, and at the time of recording, I looked about half an hour ago, it's about $54 for one Trump.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's completely crazy, right? I didn't look at the price of Pirate Chain. What's the price of Pirate Chain currently?
About 20 cents.
About 20 cents, right? And when it launched in 2018, it was pennies, because it wasn't even on an exchange, right?
Yeah.
And it has been as high as $16, but currently it's about 20 cents. So that's one of the differences, right? But you can buy fractions, just like you can buy fractions of Trump coin, you can buy fractions of Pirate Chain. So let's go through the feature of, comparative features one by one of each of them.
Okay. Well, I think the first feature you want to talk about is how it was launched and how it was released. Pirate Chain was completely fair launch cryptocurrency. That means on day one, when the first block went live, the only way to get Pirate Chain was to either mine it or to buy it. There was no centralized wallet or a developer fund or a company or foundation set up that got a bunch of the coins on the first block. That's what a pre-mine is, or an ICO. A bunch of coins are allocated to certain wallets so that when the first block confirms, those wallets just immediately have all that funds in there. That's not how Pirate Chain works. That's not how Bitcoin was launched either. That's why we consider it a commodity. It wasn't, no coins were assigned to anybody. The only way to get it was to buy it or to contribute to the network by mining it. With Trump coin, it is a meme coin on Solana that was launched by a centralized company. I don't remember. Excuse me. I don't remember the name of the group that worked with Trump to launch this one. I should have looked that up, but it is a centralized entity, and on launch, all the coins are basically already created. I believe there's 1 billion max supply for Trump coin. All 1 billion were immediately created on the first block. Since it's a meme coin on another chain, it's on a Solana blockchain. Trump coin does not have its own blockchain, so it was launched on the Solana blockchain by a centralized company who got a certain percentage of those coins. Actually, got 80% of the supply went to the insiders in the company. I don't know how much Trump and his family have of that, or how much this company has, but 20% went live and were available for sale immediately, and the other 80% went to insiders and stuff like that. From what I understand, there is a lock period on those coins, but the unlock starts in 3 months and goes all the way to 3 years. So starting in 3 months, over the next 3 years, a certain percentage of those coins are going to be unlocked each month, and whoever owns those, whether it's Trump or his company, or the company you worked with, will be able to sell those or hold them or do whatever they want with them. So the supply is already out there. Nobody has to contribute anything to the network in order to get them. The insiders that created it just wrote up this contract and they got all the coins. So I think it's very different from a commodity like Pirate Chain that was fair launched, where the only way to get the coins was to contribute to the network or to pay for them.
Yeah, and let me just say a little bit about that, right? Let me add a little bit, right? So, strictly speaking, Trump coin is a token because it doesn't have its own blockchain. It's reliant on the Solana blockchain, and the Solana blockchain is so wonderful that the team have been able to stop the Solana blockchain, I think, on 3 occasions.
Yeah,
how decentralized is that, right? We're having some problems, we're going to stop the blockchain, right? Who can stop the Bitcoin or the Pirate Chain blockchain?
So nobody. Nobody's going to come turn off my node, that's for sure.
That's right, because it's all over the place. You can mine Pirate Chain on, what's it called again? I've forgotten.
Equihash.
Equihash, using GPU computers. So you can mine Pirate Chain that way. And Pirate Chain is decentralized. We didn't ask for any money. There's no company behind it, just volunteers all over the world. And how can we tell that there is who owns the most Trump coins? And how can we tell who owns the most Pirate Chain coins?
You can see who owns the most Trump coins because it's all on a public database. It's on a publicly viewable blockchain that you can go and look with a block explorer at any time. Just Google Solana block explorer. There's tons of them. And you can go look at all the wallets that hold. You can look at their specific address. A lot of them we have people's identities associated with that address. We know who holds them. Other ones we don't know the actual owner of that address. If they ever move those coins, we'll find out who they are, though. And so it's all publicly viewable. As for most blockchains, you can go see. That's why there's a top 10 whales on every blockchain. You'll see posts on this on Twitter and YouTube, everywhere else, where they go through holds the top 10 wallets on that blockchain. Well, Pirate Chain, you can't do that at all because nobody can see nobody can see how much anybody holds or how much any specific wallet holds at all. So we have no clue. So
no clue.
Freaking Trump could hold a bunch of Pirate Chain for all we know. I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Yep. Well, one of the just something about the centralization. I think one of his crypto advisors is David Sachs, who's a big investor in Solana, and the company Trump set up, the centralized company, they hold 80%, so they're going to make a lot of money, and they can sell it. They start selling it in April, and then when the other unlocks come, but Trump, we're not allowed to see Trump's bank accounts. We're not allowed to see. You can't see what's in my bank account or in Daniel's bank account because of the importance of privacy. So this is where Pirate Chain comes in. And one of the things I'm saying is, I'm not saying that Trump coin is worse than Pirate Chain. Well, I might be. But they have different qualities, and Trump coin may be a really great way of getting more Bitcoin and more Pirate Chain if you ride the wave, right? Okay, so there's no privacy with Trump coin. Plus, also, it's dependent upon Solana. Now, I said to you before we started recording that Trump coin's really fast to transact with, and cheap to transact with, and then you corrected me.
See, that's a thing with Solana, and it's not just Solana. It's a lot of these chains that are boasting like ridiculously high transaction speeds and stuff like that. What usually happens in the real world is you get incredibly fast transaction speeds when the blockchain is slow and there's not a lot of traffic. And then, especially in the case of Solana, when you get a lot of traffic, the blockchain all of a sudden gets expensive, and in Solana's case, half the time it freezes up. Yesterday, after Melania coin launched and everybody's already aping into Trump coin and everything like that, Solana, for the blockchain froze up. None of the wallets you could do transactions through. There's people trying to do a transaction 100 times trying to buy Melania coin and couldn't go through. Phantom Wallet and all I think it's Jupiter is the name of their DEX. They were all down. Nobody could use them. So that's kind of the cost benefit you get when you decentralize, the nodes, or I guess validators in Solana's case. You centralize all these validators, but it doesn't have what's the word I'm looking for? It's not as dependable or robust, I guess you'd say, as having a completely decentralized network of nodes all over the place that have a reasonable transaction speed. So when you see these transaction per second numbers, I mean, you can't always believe them. It works. Sometimes it works that way. It's like, yeah, you can go in LA, you can go drive down the highway at 140 miles an hour at 2 a.m. on a Wednesday, but you're not driving 140 miles an hour down that highway at rush hour on a Monday. You're stopped. You're not going anywhere. So that's a great analogy for how most of these work. So Solana can be fast, it can be cheap, but when things get congested, it's just not that way. Yesterday, the fees topped out at 0.9 Solana, which I believe it's almost a full Solana. I think that's around $250 right now, which is crazy. At the time I tried doing a transaction yesterday, it was 0.6 Solana, and I was like, no, I don't need any. I wasn't trying to buy Trump coin or anything, but I was messing around on there, and it was 0.6 Solana, which was actually more Solana than I actually owned. So I obviously not doing the transaction. But with Pirate Chain, it's a fixed fee, and your transaction always goes through at most after a minute. So it's usually
what is the fee on Pirate Chain roughly?
0.0001 Pirate Chain.
Oh, that makes it
actually there might. Yeah, it's ridiculously cheap. So it's a fraction of a penny, and it's basically instant for all intents and purposes. I use it all the time. I don't even, one confirmation is especially for a small transaction, I just wait for one confirmation and I'm happy to go, which is perfect for 99% of transactions, even in-person transactions. I used it a bunch at Monerotopia a few weeks ago and stuff like that. I was doing transactions left and right, and I didn't get slowed down at all, buying from merchants and giving out Pirate Chain to some new users and stuff like that. You just scan the QR code and hit send. It works. That's the great thing about these UTXO blockchains like Pirate Chain, like Bitcoin. We know it works. We know how it works. And, it's solid. That's in my opinion.
And Pirate Chain's legacy is that it's the great-grandchild of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin was forked into Zcash, which was forked into Komodo, and Pirate Chain was forked from Komodo. So it was like born out of those chains. So it has that legacy. It's very robust. It's never, ever stopped. And it can't be captured either, because all the transactions are clumped together and rehashed onto the Komodo blockchain and then onto the Litecoin blockchain. So you can't do a capture of the Pirate Chain blockchain. It's very, very robust and free. And it's never, ever got congested. And then the transactions are about a minute to complete. So it's cheap, and nobody can stop the Pirate Chain blockchain. And it's invisible. There's no data, none. You can see the first coins that are mined, and that's to make sure that no one's printing any extra.
Yeah, that's how we audit.
Now, I don't know this about Trump coin, but it applies to a lot of these centralized tokens, which is that the holders behind them can change the contract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure specifically about Trump coin either, but other tokens out there, especially true with stable coins. Stable coins mint and burn new coins all the time, depending on how much they have in their reserves. So when you're deploying these tokens, whoever's deploying them can put whatever code they want into there. They can freeze funds if they want to, or burn them. They can create more at any time. A lot of times they have access to the liquidity pool, or at least the majority of the liquidity in the liquidity pool. So if they pull that liquidity out of the pool, the price dumps. There's a million things that make tokens far more risky than an actual blockchain, a coin on its own blockchain. And a big part of that is when, say, if somebody's starting a new chain or trying to start a new project, they could go launch a token on a blockchain and it literally takes minutes, not even minutes. Some of these platforms, you can launch a coin in 30 seconds. You don't have to put any effort into it. You don't have to put any of your own money into it. You don't have to contribute anything. You basically just got to put a picture and copy and paste some code and hit go. When you're launching a blockchain, your own blockchain, especially a fair launch chain like Pirate Chain, somebody has to mine that somebody has to be mining, or else there is no blockchain. So that means whoever's launching it, or whoever gets involved early, they have to go spend thousands of dollars on miners. These are very expensive machines. They have to go spend thousands of dollars on miners, thousands of dollars on electricity, and they have to do all the work themselves, building wallets. Yeah, you can copy code from other wallets, but you still have to make some changes and stuff like that to make it work with your chain. So with a token on Solana or Ethereum or something like that, any wallet that accepts Ethereum or Solana, you can use your token on. So the people building it, who also are holding the most and have the most to gain from it, they don't have to contribute anything really. Whereas if you're looking at a blockchain, at least the people who launched it generally are already thousands of dollars, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars deep, and spent hundreds or thousands of hours already contributing to it. So you can have more confidence that they're at least not just going to take what money they can get in the first month and bail. So I think that's a very distinct difference why I value coins more than I value tokens. There are some legitimate uses for tokens that I've seen out there, but for the most part, I'm not really interested in tokens. They don't have much. They don't have the value backing them.
Well, I think the difference is, especially with meme coins are like the fiat currency of the crypto world, because it takes no energy. There's no energy required really, or minimal energy. You press a few buttons, there you go, just like printing dollars or pounds or euros. Whereas gold, silver, Bitcoin, pirate chain, it takes energy, it takes work. So they're actually authentic representations of energy, which ultimately is the difference between money and fiat currency. Money is tokenized energy, and fiat currency isn't.
Yeah.
So that's great. Now, we mentioned earlier that we think the Solana blockchain has been stopped at least 3 times, possibly more.
I think it's more than that. Yeah, right. I think it's more than that.
I think it was because of bugs or hacks and everything. What about all the bugs and the hacks that have been found in the pirate chain blockchain?
We haven't really had any major. I mean, in the blockchain itself, I'm not aware of any bugs. There's certainly been no hacks or anything like that. We have had bugs in our individual wallets, and then third parties who have integrated pirate chain, they've had bugs in there, but nothing that sacrifices the privacy at all, or nothing that would put your coins in danger. It's basically just small little UI things like that, which I think is a great testament. Pirate chain is coming up on, we're over 6 years now. This next year will be 7 years. And we have not had any major privacy vulnerabilities or, supply vulnerabilities or anything like that. I'm not going to go out and bash on some other chains, but since Pirate Chain has launched, there have been a lot of privacy coins that have had major either supply inflation bugs or privacy bugs that have totally wiped out their privacy retroactively. People go back and de-anonymized transactions from years ago and stuff like that. And I'm pretty proud to say that Pirate Chain has not had anything like that.
Yeah,
never had our privacy compromised. And that might be because some of these chains are just trying to do too much. They come out and they're trying to do a million, we're the best at absolutely everything, not just transacting value like a cryptocurrency should be. We got this messaging, and we got this staking, and we got this DeFi and all this other stuff. And then once you get down to the nitty gritty, you realize how difficult it is to do. Just doing encrypted messaging is not something that's easy. It is very, very, very difficult. And doing it in a decentralized manner with a decentralized project, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
The Pirate Chain is using proven technologies that have been around for a while and have been tested thoroughly, and we've had audits. We're going to have more audits when it comes to Orchard and stuff, but our past protocols have been audited. Sapling has been audited, and our full node wallet and stuff like that. We do need to do more audits in the future. We've passed them in flying colors. There's never been any vulnerabilities, and you'll see more and more of these chains go down left and right as we learn more and more about them. And I think that's why using proven technology like a UTXO blockchain, the Pirate Chain is. UTXO chains have been around since Bitcoin launched, and then also zero knowledge proofs.
Yeah, Daniel, we're just on that. Pirate Chain is an evolution from Bitcoin to Zcash to Komodo, and it's the genius team at Komodo that refined it even further to give us Pirate Chain. So it's not like, we're going to try something completely new and untested, and like you said, jam all these other things in. Pirate Chain is just a currency. It is money. That's what Pirate Chain is. Now, the supply of Trump coin is fixed at 1 billion, but the available supply will increase as the unlocks come into play. Whereas with Pirate Chain, we have a halving every 270 days. So the new supply coming on halves every 270 days. What's the total supply of Pirate Chain? I can't remember.
200 million.
200 million. And when's the next halving? Remember?
I want to say this summer. I believe the last one was in September or October, so it should be 2 or 3 months before that. I'm
Right.
sorry, I could go look if you want me
No
to.
problem. No problem. No,
I
people
don't
can look at the
remember.
website, or I might have it as an overlay on this. So that means that in
Yeah,
summer, when the next halving is, the new supply that comes online is going to halve. So in that way, both cryptocurrencies have a fixed supply, but
yep,
Pirate Chain is deflationary in the same way that
yep.
Bitcoin is, whereas Trump coin, the way that the emission schedule is, that it's inflationary, at least until all 1 billion are released.
Yeah,
Okay.
from this point on, there's going to be significantly less and less pirate chain every day. When it comes to Trump coin, starting in 3 months, there'll be significantly more Trump coin every. I don't know what the vesting schedule is. I think it's once a month they get access to them, but every month the supply will dramatically increase for the next 3 years. Then after 3 years, then the total supply will be out there still. So yeah, pirate chain is far more rare. Over the next 3 years, pirate chain is far more rare than Trump coin,
Yep.
even counting total supply, market cap, whatever way you want to look at it, which has a slower inflation rate by far.
Yep. And
So
finally, about Trump coin and Pirate Chain, I could say that both there's controversy about both because people use privacy to do all sorts of nefarious activities. Well, people do all sorts of nefarious activities publicly. Just look at HSBC and what they were doing with
yeah,
Mexican drug cartels, right? Using fiat,
yeah,
right? It's possible. And I think Trump coined this controversy about this president who can fix the rules, perhaps, to favor his cryptocurrencies, and then people cashing in on the Trump name with Melania, and who knows what else will come out of it, right? But I think it's also going to open up. I think it's going to be very, very bullish for crypto in general, as
yeah,
is the importance of privacy. Do you want to comment on that before we finish up?
yeah. I think Trump. I too am pretty bullish on crypto for Trump. Uh, it would be a pretty hard turn for him to go at this point after speaking at the Bitcoin conference, launching his NFTs and meme coins. It would be pretty hard on him to turn around and try to regulate the rest of us after that. So I am pretty bullish on him. I'm not, expecting Trump or any of the establishment, whether it's the old establishment or the new establishment that's coming with Trump. I don't expect either of them to totally embrace privacy coins. I feel like we're going to be the last thing they touch. But if they just keep allowing us to just do what we're doing. We're not hurting anybody. We're not scamming anybody. We're not even, me and you aren't even making any money, so we're doing this for free. So I think as long as he just keeps it like that, so that people like me and you can keep working on these chains without being forced to go KYC people and stuff like that, I think that'll be enough. We don't need it. We just don't lock us in a cage, please, and just let us be free and do
Well,
it.
absolutely. And then what happens when you try and lock people into a cage? Well, people struggle and
Yeah.
win their freedom. And one of the ways they win their freedom is through privacy. Without privacy, there is no freedom. And when you said about the established figures, they may not talk about pirate chain and privacy cryptos publicly, but they want to keep their stuff
Well,
private too.
oh yeah, they're definitely using them. There's no, the some of these intelligence organizations and militaries around the world, they use the highest encryption possible out there. They encrypt everything. They have fully air gapped machines that they have full disk encryption on specific devices, specific hardware just for military. They take their privacy incredibly seriously, and there's no doubt in my mind that they are those same people are going to be using privacy coins to move money for whatever they're doing. So I don't think they even want to outlaw them. I think they want them, or maybe they want it harder for some people to get, make it more difficult to use it in day-to-day lives. But I don't think they want them gone. I think the powers that be want to be able to have a chain where they can go and move money without everybody seeing.
Yep.
So,
Which is privacy is a human right.
yeah.
Daniel, anything else you want to say before we finish up?
Just come. We have a ton. It's 2025 launching now. We have so much stuff going on at Pirate Chain with the Orchard upgrade, working on new wallets as well as some new marketing campaigns. We're starting to get into video content and stuff like that, doing more interviews. And we're really trying to go hard on the marketing because we already have an amazing product back there that's being upgraded all the time. So we're really trying to get out there and deliver the message about what we're doing here at Pirate Chain. So I'd really encourage people to go over to piratechain.com, join our Discord, join our Telegram, come be a part of the community. This is everybody's chain. This isn't mine and Rich's blockchain. This isn't this is everybody's project. You have as much of a right to contribute to it as I do. You have as much of a right to help determine the direction we go and what we do as anybody else here. We have a team, but we don't have any authority that nobody else has. You can form your own team, development team, marketing team, whatever you want to do with Pirate Chain. And you could have as much, if you put in the work, you could have as much influence as our team, and you could rival our team. And we want 1 million. We want 1 million different teams out there, people marketing, building on there and stuff like that. Don't let this just be our chain,
Yeah.
become contributive, bring in the direction you want it to go.
Great. Absolutely. Daniel, thank you so much. Look forward to having you on again. I'll have the links, piratechain.com, in the description below. Follow them on X, join their Telegram, their Discord. And between now and when I see you next, please keep filling your pockets with Pirate Chain, privacy, and freedom. Crypto Rich and Crypto Daniel signing out. All the best. Bye-bye.
Take care. Free Ross.
Oh, yes. Free Ross Albright.